Welcome back to the Free West YouTube channel, and if you haven't done so before, please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button and the bell in order to get notifications of new videos on this channel. Now today I'm thinking of the burden of Zimbabwe on South Africa, more particularly on the Afrikaner people of South Africa, who contribute the technical, financial and legal expertise to make our economy function, the engineers and so on. And we still have a functioning economy here, despite 25 years of misrule by an Afro-Marxist regime called the ANC that everybody else imposed on us. There's still food on the table here because our farmers are still farming, because their Marxist collectivist project, so-called land reform or expropriation without compensation, remember that one, expropriation without compensation, that hasn't happened yet, but it might happen soon. But when we look further north to Zimbabwe, just across the border from us, that is now the utopia that was created by Western liberalism working together with East European communism to create this kind of Cuba in Africa called Zimbabwe. And you know, the British Foreign Office in 1978 or thereabouts, they forced the old Rhodesian government into capitulation, and they brought to power a fist-clenching, power-hungry Afro-Marxist called Robert Mugabe in 1980, and from that moment onwards things started going downhill. And from about 2000, when he confiscated the land belonging to white farmers, it started to collapse. First there was hyperinflation, and since then the country has just muddled along. And at the current moment, according to the World Food Programme and World Vision, there are 8.5 million people who are food insecure in Zimbabwe. That's according to a report by Reuters from about 2 days ago. And at the beginning of the month, there was a report in the London Financial Times where they noted that Zimbabwe was $2 billion in arrears with its payments to the International Monetary Fund, aka the IMF. But Zimbabwe has placed, oh yes, one more thing, the current rate of inflation in Zimbabwe over the last month has been just under 700%. But Zimbabwe has placed an enormous burden on South Africa and on us, because not only have we had about 3 to 4 million illegal immigrants who streamed across our borders, desperate for work and food, who would then repatriate payments to that country, you know, taking our scarce foreign exchange with them to that hopeless Marxist abyss. But they've also had free electricity from us, or electricity on credit that they never paid. And last year there was a very worrying report in one of the local media stating that our finance minister, Mr. Tito Mboweni of the ANC regime, was contemplating lending or simply donating $7.5 billion to Zimbabwe to clear their arrears with the IMF and to give their economy a bit of a boost. So the actions of Western liberalism, and particularly the Scandinavian countries, the Netherlands, East Germany, Mrs. Merkel also comes from East Germany, by the way, and of course the Democratic Party in the US, the Clintons, the whole coterie of people around them, they've created this nightmare in Southern Africa. Oh yes, talking about, Southern Africa, of course we've got Marxist, Afro-Marxist governments all around. We've got SWAPO in Namibia, we've got Frelimo in Mozambique, in Angola we've got the MPLA, ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe. They are all explicitly Marxist regimes. In Angola, according to the same report from Reuters, 2.5 million people are food insecure. And then the reporter tells us with some relish that teenagers prostitute themselves in Angola for $1 in order to get food for them and their families, and girls as young as 12 do it for 40 cents. So we see we've got this something from the novels of the Marquis de Sade, where there's absolutely no morality, there's just corruption and greed and decay and decline, starvation, drought. In Harare, the entire water supply system has collapsed and about 2 million people are short of water. So we've created the Western liberalism has created these nightmares around us. And instead of owning up to their mistakes and to the horrors that they have created in this part of the world, no, what do? They reserve their calumny and their insults and their continuing accusations of racism and Nazism and every other epithet in the lexicon of the insane liberal for us. I mean, we are essentially powerless looking on at this nightmare in the making, these horrors occurring in our part of the world, and we can do nothing because we've been checkmated, excluded from any form of political, economic influence, any say in anything that goes on in this part of the world. We're just looking on at it, but they still insult us, and they've got these propaganda campaigns that are launched at us wave after wave in order to incite these poor Africans against us, hopefully so that they can kill us in farm murders, instead of owning up to the utter disaster that the West, together with the old communist regimes, have created in Southern Africa. How do we explain that? Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before, and we'll definitely pursue some of these thoughts in other videos to come. Thank you.